Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my Boxycharm unboxing and try on. So if you'd like to see what I do, just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm starting off with absolutely no makeup on because I do want to try out these brushes that came in the box. This month's box came with a 2-piece brush set. Sorry, trying to open this. It is exclusive to Boxycharm, and they're kind of like those oval brushes that like have the weird handles that kind of like paint brushes that you like paint on. But these have different handles, like where you could actually like hold it like a normal brush. There's like a big one that I'm going to be using for foundation, and then there's this one here that I'm going to be using for like cream products, which is smaller. I don't know if you could see here, but these two brushes retail for $35. Now, before I get all of that started, I did get the Juice Beauty Stem Cellular Anti-Wrinkle Eye Treatment. That's a mouthful. I've been using it for the last 3 days, and yeah, I feel like it hydrates my under eyes pretty well. I mean, I'm no spring chicken. I am 30, so I am starting to get like, you know, fine lines in certain places. So I'll continue using that and see how it works, but so far so good. That retails for $50, and then I also got the Pop Band Starry Eyes Pop Masks set of 2. They're self-heating masks, and they retail for $10. I got 2 packs of them, and I have yet to use those because I don't know if the idea of like warming eye masks sounds like, maybe for like right before bed, but I normally use eye masks in the morning if I use them at all. So if I do use them, I will let you guys know what I think about them. But yeah, now I'm going to just pop right into my makeup. Now, I normally don't wear a lot of primer. The primer that I do like to use, especially when my skin gets pretty dry in the cold weather that I'm having here right now, I use the Touch in Sol No Problem Prime Essence, I think it's called. And I like it because it like sinks into the skin, and it's not too slippery, and it feels like it gives me a little bit of hydration. And I saw this in Walmart the other day. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Primer Serum. And I thought I would try this to see if it'd be nice to use under makeup during the winter, because I do normally have normal to oily skin. And I do get like dry patches in like certain areas where I break out. Like I have a small little breakout right here right now. I have some scarring. And yeah, sometimes dry patches cling to those areas, so I just want to see if this would be good for the winter. Just going to drip this out. Okay, I did actually purchase the Wet n Wild multi-use oil when I picked this up the other day, and I've been using that for the last few days too, and even though it kind of makes my skin feel a little on the oily side, I prefer that to feeling dry, to be honest. Okay, so that absorbed into the skin pretty fast. Let's see. It is slightly tacky, but not like silicone-y like some primers are, which I don't really like in a primer. Yeah, it's slightly tacky, and it did feel like it gave like a little bit of hydration to my skin, so that's nice. I will try to keep you guys updated when I edit this video to see how my makeup wore throughout the day. Okay, yeah, now I'm going to be using my foundation. I'm just going to be using the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation today in the shade Light Ivory. This is for warm yellow undertones. I'm more of a neutral undertone, but when it comes to finding a pale enough foundation, it's like either warm or cool. I don't know if I mentioned, but the brushes are retail for $35. I might have mentioned that, I don't know. But normally for foundation, I just like to use the back of my hand, and I'll just put a pump or two. And I'm going to use that bigger of the 2 brushes, and I'm going to start buffing this into my skin. Okay, not gonna lie, this brush is a little stiff and hurts a little bit. It's not this like most gentle to use against the face. It's kind of scratchy, not gonna lie. I feel like it's normally with the brushes I use for my foundation, I tend to use this foundation and the Maybelline Super Stay foundation, and then the let's see, what else do I use? I use the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir foundation, and their True Blend Matte Made one, and then also I think I use Maybelline Dream Mousse as well. I like normally stick to the e.l.f. one and the CoverGirl one, especially when it's cold outside because of my dry skin during the winter. This brush sucks. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm getting an awful amount of coverage when it comes to this brush. So I think I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch to, this is actually a really inexpensive brush. This is the AOA Studio High Def Brush F4. I got this off of Shop Miss A ages ago. And it has been one of my favorite foundation brushes for an eternity. Okay, so I do think I'm going to switch to the Maybelline Super Stay foundation in the shade Natural Ivory. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's like that primer is not like meshing the best with, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like clinging to all this dry skin on my chin, which I didn't know was there, to be honest. So I don't know if that primer and that foundation just didn't want to go together. We'll try this brush again to see if it does better with this foundation. I'm just hoping this doesn't look too cakey because of how much foundation I am putting on my face right now. Okay, so maybe this brush would just work better with a full coverage foundation like this one, because I feel like it's going on better with this foundation. Maybe if it's like too thin, it'll soak it up too much. But if it's really thick like this foundation, it won't, if that makes any sense. I still have a pretty dark scar here from where my mole was removed, but I have bangs, so I don't have to really worry about that being covered too much. Sorry, I switched back to this brush to kind of smooth it out a little, but I have so much dry skin on the center of my chin, it's absolutely disgusting. Okay, no, I think that is as good as that's going to get at the moment. I just do not have tried out anything new in this video because I believe like that primer might have been disrupting my foundation. I mean, it's working all right with the Super Stay, so maybe it just needs a fuller coverage foundation so it doesn't like separate. I don't know. And then in the box, sorry. And then in the box, we got this, it's like a, okay, so it's like a concealer sample, I'm assuming. It came in this little pouch, and then these are the individual colors that came. I think when you first sign up for Boxycharm, you kind of tell them if you're like in the medium to, I mean light to medium to dark, and then I think they sent me light to medium? I don't know. But I'm going to have to use the lightest shade. I'm assuming this is called Little White Lies. Get it all the way open here. I'm going to use my finger to pat it on and then a brush to blend it out. It does feel a little thick. I guess that covered pretty well, yes. Covered up a lot of the darkness. I normally don't do my base makeup on screen because I feel like it gets really repetitive after every video, but if you guys want to see me do my base from now on while recorded, just let me know and I will. Now, I did end up putting a little more on this side than I did on this side, and it does look a little heavier. I'm not the biggest fan of if you put too much, but I mean, it looks alright when you put just a light amount on. Normally when I set my under eyes, I use the Pretty Vulgar, the Powder Room Matte About It Translucent Setting Powder. I just use a brush like this, and I will tap it in and set. Yeah, I don't know if I'm liking that concealer, to be honest. I like to stick with what I know that works well, and that's not really one of the things that looks like it's working that well. And then I also do like to use this powder to set my chin as well, just because I have a lot of texture on my chin. And right now I have a lot of dry skin, so hopefully it doesn't cling. But I normally have a lot of texture on my chin, which I am not the biggest fan of, and I feel like this smooths it out a little. I'm not going to set the rest of my face quite at this moment because I am going to use cream products to try out that other brush, which I'm kind of afraid of now, like how this is all going. I'm going to quickly throw on some eyeshadow primer. Pardon how disgustingly dirty this container is because it's just like dirt clings to it and it like doesn't wash off well, but this is the Hard Candy eyeshadow primer in the shade Eyes the Limit. And tap that on. And then I'll go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte Transparent Powder, and I will use that to set my lids with the same brush that I used for under my eyes. I don't like using a loose powder on my lids because I feel like I feel like a loose powder kind of sometimes messes up any eyeshadow I use, if that makes any sense. I feel like it makes it stick a lot less if it's like a loose powder. Okay, before I go into anything else, I think I want to quickly do the cream products on my face, and then I'll do my eyebrows. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. This is a bronzer blush duo. This is Bronzed Violet. I am going to be taking the bronze shade first. I think I'm going to forego contour today. We'll see after I set everything. So I'll use that shade first. And I'm going to go in with the second brush and see if this works pretty well. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking the blush shade out of that same palette, and I actually got this brush from a Boxycharm. This is a crown oval brush, and I got it from a Boxycharm like forever ago. I use this for cream face paint a lot, so yeah, if you see me use it, that's probably where it's been from. But I need to use a more dense brush for this cream blush, so I'm going to use this. Now I'm going to use my same Rimmel powder, and I'm going to set the rest of my face. I will continue to use that primer under certain foundations and let you know how I like it. I did like the way it made my skin feel, so maybe I just didn't let it sit on the skin long enough before I went to apply foundation and stuff. hoping that my powder tones down just a little bit. Now that the day can't go any more crazy, I'm going to go into the JCat Beauty You Glow Girl Baked Highlighter in the shade Crystal Sand and use that to highlight my cheekbones. I'm also going to put some on my Cupid's bow. And then the tip of my nose, and in between my eyes, and then a little bit down the bridge. Super glowy. Now I'm going to just go in with the e.l.f. Brow Cream, Lock On Liner and Brow Cream in the shade Espresso. And I'm just going to use a angled liner brush and fill in my brows real quick. I got the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Thunder Eyeshadow Palette, which retails for $35. This is what the palette looks like. I did swatch the colors to kind of figure out what I wanted to go for an eye look today. The only one I feel kind of worried about is this one up here, because it does feel really smooth, almost like where it might blend away. And I'm hoping not, because that's one of the primary colors I'm going to be using in this look. So we'll just dive right in. I'm going to start off with the shade Mystic Ice, and I'm going to run this into my crease. Okay, next I'm going into the shade Zero Gravity, which I'm hoping works really well to do what I want it to do. I'm just using that same brush. And I'm going to run this into my crease to just a little lower. Okay, and then I'm going to take the shade Black Matter on my finger. And I'm going to put that all over my lid. I'm just hoping I don't get a bunch of fallout with this, but it looks like a beautiful shade. Okay, next, now I'm going to go back into the shade Zero Gravity. I think I'm going to use a smaller brush for this though. I'm going to use this skinnier e.l.f. eye crease brush. Dip into that shade and then try deepening up the crease a little bit more. Okay, so blending over the shade Black Matter, which is that shimmer, is actually creating fallout from the shimmer. Like, it's not sticking to my eye, it's falling off. So that's a little strange, not gonna lie. I don't know if that's going to impact the longevity of that shadow, but I'm going to try to intensify it a little more now. Okay, and then I think I'm going to take the shade Eternal Light and put that on the inner half of my lid on top of that shade and my inner corner. I feel like this will give it a nice brighter moment. Okay, now I think I'm going to work on the lower lash line. I'm going to start with the shade Lunar Eclipse. And I'm going to run that kind of low. It's going to look crazy while I'm just placing it down, and then I'm going to blend it out, I swear. Then I'm going to take the shade Storm Dust. I'm just doing like a cool tone on top and warm tone on bottom, so we'll just see if this looks like crap afterward. I don't know. Using that same brush, and I'm going to run that on the lower lash line as well. Okay, next I'm going into the shade Lucid Dream, and I'm going to put this on just the outer corner of my lower lash line. Now I'm taking the last shade I haven't used, which is the shade Fireball. I'm taking a really skinny smudger brush, and I'm going to apply this closest to my lower lash line, about the inner 2/3 of the way on my lower lash line. I think I'm going to have to wet this shade though, to be honest. So I'm going to go into the shade Lucid Dream, and hopefully I don't mess up this look, but we'll see. And I'm going to put it on the outer corner right here. Okay, not gonna lie, I feel like I almost ruined this look, and then I barely managed to make it look good after doing that. So I'm going into the Wet n Wild Mega Liner in the black shade, and I'm just going to line my eyes. Okay, then for mascara, I think I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara and coat my top and lower lashes. Okay, I'm going into a pair of the Ardell Demi Wispies. I'm using the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive in their clear shade with aloe in it. And I'm going to pop these on real quick, and I will be right back. Okay, now that those are on, I'm finally going to finish off this look. Okay, the last thing that is in this box was the Dose of Colors Liquid Matte Lipstick. These retail for $18. I got the shade Flirty, which is like a somewhat like pinky nude. Okay, so I throw my hair up and put on an earring and my accessories. So yeah, that is, oops. Sorry about that. So yeah, that is pretty much the end of this look. I did like most of the products that I used. The brushes, I'm like 50-50 on. I might use the small one again. I don't know about the large one. Lipstick, I love the lipstick. I like the eyeshadow. I haven't yet to try the eye masks, but I do like the Juice Beauty anti-wrinkle lotion or whatever it is. And what else? That concealer, I probably won't actually purchase it, but it was alright. And that, yeah, that was it. Okay, so yeah, that is pretty much the look that I created with this month's Boxycharm. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you aren't already, or if you want to, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!